And
Picked up a Wii U at long last after a year. Not bad. You know, there's a few titles, and I basically bought everything I wanted to actually play. So we've got Super Luigi Brothers and Super Mario Brothers U. What can you say? It's just new Super Mario Brothers basically, but
great fun with the family. Always include the family. Get your kids around.
yeah.
The first one, Super Mario Brothers, as I said in another video, I think on its own it just feels very slow compared to the other ones. But get that pad and notes from friends around. Brilliant game.
I mean, in many ways, it's still classical Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
If you kind of haven't played like new Super Mario Brothers on the Wii, you probably enjoy this more than you would, you know, otherwise. But it's kind of it's okay. I mean, it's still holding its price really well. Most of it, be careful. But
I haven't seen that Luigi one. I've never seen that before.
yeah, it's actually DLC. They actually brought it out. Look, it's not open yet. It's not open yet or anything.
No.
They brought it out as a DLC, and they also sold it separately.
Fruit.
I know.
Oh, okay. Wasn't me.
No, that's cool.
Did they got you on the camera? Some kissing on the sofa.
It was, however, like £22, £21 or something. So that's actually cheap for Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
At the moment, anyway, it was. A game that is fantastic and awesome and so much damn fun.
Yeah.
And that's Tank Tank Tank.
Oh, this is what you were talking about.
It is absolutely criminal that there's no online.
Yeah, it's the amount of fun we had. We played it for half an hour, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then you think, how much fun would that be? Let's take it online.
And you'll find that with the biggest problems with the Wii U, the two biggest problems. One is you haven't generally got the online modes that a game that's on other systems has. It won't have the online. And the other problem is DLC. They won't release the DLC or all of it on the Wii U because it's just not cost effective or whatever. So you generally sometimes better off getting the other versions.
Do you think that Nintendo don't have online because they don't have a subscription base like Xbox and PlayStation?
I don't think it's just not in their heads. I mean, even when it's a third party title, something like Splinter Cell, you know, you played the co-op on Splinter Cell, on the Wii U version, no co-op.
See, I wonder because we play the Xbox Live or the PSN network.
Yeah.
That plays obviously for the online because it's obviously an expensive thing to.
I mean, they do have like the online games.
But then obviously not as much servers.
I mean, they just seem to be like really tight on it all. I mean, and they were with the Wii. They were exactly the same with the Wii.
But I think it just comes down to costs and
I think a lot of it is. I mean, this works on the Sonic All Stars Racing. This works on the network.
Yeah.
Actually pretty cool.
The Hedgehog.
Yes.
Not as good as Sonic All Stars Racing, the original. I still think. I mean, obviously, I've not played the Wii U version.
Yeah.
So I can't
Essentially, it's basically the same. The only real advantage the Wii U version has is that you can play it two-player, one person on the gamepad and one person on the screen.
Yeah.
So that's like the only advantage it really has. So, whereas there are a couple of ones in here that actually have a big advantage. The Wonderful 101. Really good if you can get into it. The demo didn't do it justice at all because they basically threw you in and didn't tell you how to play.
Unlike Platinum games, who generally, tell you which buttons to press.
Yeah, I mean, it's just really, really odd. Extremely Japanese, so it's kind of my cup of tea, but I say it is really, really odd. You basically have this big team of people, and you draw on the Wii pad, and you actually do shapes. So if you want one type of weapon, you do like a line, or you do like
draw a sword.
You draw a sword.
What's that game out on the DS where you had to draw?
Drawn together?
No, I think there's another one.
I know what you mean. Drawn to life or something like that.
Yeah,
That's
it was,
Drawn to Life.
yeah.
Drawn to Life, yes,
And you had to do.
That's what I was
something.
thinking.
Yeah.
It's on the Wii as well. But
Yeah.
it's really awkward with the Wii modes. So
Yeah.
it's not so good. But yeah, that is actually a fantastic game. It's taken me. It takes a little while to get into, but
apparently it's really hard at the start. But
it's
it gets
extremely
easier after
hard.
a while.
Yeah. The main thing is, if you do get that, the main thing you have to do, very first thing you do when you first get to the shop, buy the block. You know, the block is actually like a thing you have to buy. You can't block.
Oh.
So you buy it, and as soon as you get the block, it gets like 20 times easier.
Yeah.
So it's not actually that hard. I didn't find it as hard as a lot of people have been saying. So, right, Resident Evil Revelations. I mean, I have an advantage because I haven't bought a lot of 360 games in the past year or so. I've got a lot of stuff off of PlayStation Network on PlayStation Plus, but you know I haven't really bought a lot, and I've always fancied this. Resident Evil 6 was an utter pile of bollocks. I hate Resident Evil 6. It's dreadful. It's really bad. This is more like how it should be.
The best Resident Evil game in the past 10 years, easily.
Yeah, I honestly think this is better than 4 because it has the style of play of 4, but the kind of suspense and horror of the older ones.
And
like,
it's got
like 1 and 2.
bite-sized episodes as well, which is you know, fantastic.
But you've still got the free roaming. You can still go back all the way around the ship
Yeah.
and actually go and explore if you want, which is good. You get best of both worlds.
And you can swim.
That's the only bad thing. The swimming sections are not the best. That is the only thorn for me in the side.
I played through it on the 360 and loved it from start to finish.
It has.
I struggled with the swimming sections. I'd done them, but they were more of a headache than they should have been.
Yeah. The map that they have on the Wii U version on the gamepad is very useful. And you've also got like your menus and stuff, you know, the weapons and stuff on the gamepad.
Yeah.
You just swipe them and that's it. And all that's kind of useful. So I would say in some ways that this is the best version apart from the PC one. But again, it comes down to multiplayer. The multiplayer's in there, but there's hardly anyone playing. So if you want to play the Mercenaries mode or whatever it is, there's a lot of good Miiverse support and stuff like that in this as well, which is kind of cool and interesting. But it's finding people to actually play it. But on the whole, I actually think that's probably the best version. Bar the PC, but we don't talk about the Uber race and that lot in this one. It's they can go elsewhere.
We bow to your stuck-up arsedness.
Yes, and the fact that you have no life and spend all your money on upgrades. It's
and forget to eat some days.
Yes, and have massive stacks of noodle cartons. Right.
Coming from you, you are Mr. Noodles.
Yes, but I don't have the cartons, I just have the plates. It's
true.
right. Deus Ex Human Revolution, the Director's Cut. It's come out on the PlayStation and 360, isn't it supposed to be? But it's kind of like a bit pointless because most of the stuff that makes this Director's Cut isn't actually in it. A lot of it you can use with Smart Glass or I think the Vita to get similar effects, but it's still a lot more awkward than actually having it on the gamepad. I mean, you've got the basic maps. I mean, they've made it a lot more friendly, and I really do love Deus Ex. I enjoyed Human Revolution so much on the. I've got it on the PS3 and the 360.
I've played for it on the 360 from start to finish. The only thing that pissed me off is anyone that's played Deus Ex, the boss battles. It doesn't.
They've eased them up a lot.
It doesn't fit.
They're basically like, you go to the first one, and you know he's like basically a big bloody great tank in the bloody middle of the thing. But now you've got like turrets you can hack, and you've got you've got little alleyways you can you know, like air vents you can go into, hide from it, and do other bits and pieces. So they've added a little bit of what it needed. It's not perfect, but it's improved.
They tweaked
it. And there's a full director's commentary as well.
I was also really disappointed by the fact it was such a short game. I played through it in about, I'd say, 16 hours.
Yeah.
And I love it to be triple
the
that.
thing is, there's a lot of replay value and you know,
I went
choices.
Looking for them,
but you know, there's a lot of choices.
Saving people and non-saving people and finding out, you know.
Yeah, still haven't done. You still haven't done FemShep on Mass Effect yet.
Yeah. That's one that's a must do.
All 3 games, one after the other, is, with DLC.
That's a lot of playing games. There's a guy that's got to start from the beginning.
I'm actually about halfway through one.
Yeah,
I'm about halfway. I kind of got bored because I have completed Mass Effect 1 about 7 or 8 times at least.
Yeah.
So I kind of a bit burned out with that. Assassin's Creed 3, go back onto the Assassin's Creed thing.
Or look forward to the Assassin's Creed conversation, whichever way you watch the video.
Indeed, indeed. Unless he kind of like gets really crafty and splices it in. But yeah, and I can actually record like the footage of this hopefully with that update. So but yeah, the graphics are pretty much about the same as the 360 and thingy version. Just you got the fancy menus on the gamepad.
Stick with it. The first 4 or 5 hours.
That's cool.
Are not the best. I mean, first of all, you start off as a completely different character. What you think?
I mean, I've heard a lot of people say it's like the worst one by a long way, and I've heard a lot of people say it's one of the better ones, apart from 4.
It's one of the better ones. As long as you stick with it. Once you've got the home front up and running, I can't highlight, you know, when you've got the families and your home front and you go around to doing jobs. It's brilliant.
I must admit, I started Assassin's Creed 3 and I didn't persevere with it initially.
Nag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I played through it and I finished it. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
The only thing that knocks me about Assassin's Creed is when they pull you out into modern day.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing, but
Yeah.
that's another discussion.
You know,
that's awesome.
I find it kind of like, you know, I actually kind of preferred the like out of modern day bits that I did the actual Assassin-y bits, because it was just I couldn't get into the jumping and stuff. But I'll get there. I'm gonna get there. Got 1 and 2, so Pikmin 3. Basically command and conquer with weird little vegetable people.
My
my
wife struggled to play this because she felt so guilty because you had to send some of them to your death. The looks on her face, she had to stop playing it. It's like, hey.
Yeah. I mean, this does have, if you've played the Wii versions of the remakes of Pikmin 1 and 2, the Wii motion controls are one of the examples where it's very good. Actually, much improved over the GameCube. Having the point and click, and you can still use those Wii remotes on this as well, for the same control scheme, or you can use like a touchpad control scheme. They both have advantages and disadvantages, but I still prefer using the Wii remote. So, but awesome little game. Batman Arkham City Armoured Edition. Every video I've seen of this, it looks like garbage, and when I actually put it on, it looks bloody lovely. It looks really nice. I mean, the graphics are gorgeous. You know, you've got the weird armoured costumes, and you've got like an extra sort of super attack mode in it.
Have they actually added anything to it?
Yeah, stuff. Yeah, all that stuff's added. It's got armoured costumes. It's got all the DLC. It's got it's got armoured costumes. I mean, like Catwoman. See how different that is to how Catwoman looked before. You know, and you've got like a super power mode that costume basically gives you. So the more you get hit, the more it powers up, and then you can unleash special attacks and stuff, which you couldn't do before. So, but the thing is, you'll only be paying about £8 if you've got any sense for. You know, I mean, I think that was £9 brand new and sealed. So
that's good value.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's not bad, is it?
I wish I'd paid that for Arkham City because I feel the special edition paid like 70 quid.
Yeah.
Play it on the Xbox.
Yeah.
To play Xbox, new console, coming soon from Retron.
This is more of a bloody. This is more your fault because you got like Ninja Gaiden 3. I looked it up and then found out that it wasn't actually just like add-ons. It was like a complete rework.
Yes.
It's a complete rework.
And it makes what was a crap game a very good game.
Yeah, it is so much better.
Yeah.
I mean, it originally came out on the Wii U, didn't it? And then it was ported to the other consoles, I think.
My daughter loves the style of games, my oldest daughter. But unlike most of her games where you tap one button to do the combos, there's a bit of skill. You have to actually tap like 4 different buttons. And once you get to grips with it, when I was messaging Tony all the time, it's fantastic from start to finish. There's no real low points. It's a fantastic device. If you play number 3, I would really suggest.
3's awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
3.
If you looked at the demo of 3 or just played 3 and you went, oh my god!
No matter how much you hate it, play that game. Just give it a chance. Just give the first 3 missions, because the 3rd mission is a new mini bit with one of the new characters, Ayane, and it's brilliant. I mean, it's just. I find it frustrating that the best stuff, or not frustrating, if you like replay value, the best stuff doesn't unlock until you actually complete it, and then you get to go through it again. The only thing that carries over is Ryu stuff. So if you started doing Ayane or any of the other characters that unlock, they go straight away to 0, and you are looking at lots of hours. But once you get into the combat of pulling out 15, 20 hit combos off memory, the enjoyable is 10 out of 10. Yeah. Enjoyability.
I mean, I think it's better than 2. I did think that like the first one's kind of the best one, especially Sigma on the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I think is probably the best one. But that's still very close.
Yeah.
It's extremely good. It might, it depends on like your personal taste. I think whether you prefer that or the first Sigma. But I don't think the second one's really got a look in. It's in comparison. But anyway, right, Warriors of Orochi 3 Hyper, which funnily enough
has Dead or Alive characters in it.
Ninja Gaiden characters in it. So. Which is awesome, Ryo Hayabusa, etc., etc. And
if I remember correctly, they just released those character outfits for Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network.
Which is awesome. We've got Momiji as well from Ninja Gaiden, as well as I think Iyami. But yeah, I believe there is a newer Orochi than this, but it's Japan only on PS3.
Yeah.
I believe, and it's got a few more costumes.
The stuff that's coming out near the end of the PlayStation 3 is like, they're saying it's not near the end, but it's the stuff that's there's so much stuff staying in Japan, whereas before
but
we get a lot more.
it's been a steady pattern for
It's
a
been
while.
better. Yeah,
It's been a steady pattern for a while with a lot of stuff in Japan, like I saw Yakuza 5 and you know, a few things like that. A lot of stuff like EX Troopers.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much stuff basically like Japan only. I can understand stuff like Macross and weird Japan cartoon ones being Japan only. Licensing more than anything else.
Yeah.
But and the Gundam games, I understand those being Japan only, but there's a lot of games you kind of wonder why. Not a bad game on that. It's Dynasty Warriors. You either like Dynasty Warriors or you don't like Dynasty Warriors. I haven't played a Dynasty Warriors game for a while. I thought I'd give it a try. About £7 or £8. So, and the last one, and it's a good one, is basically my baby, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Very skill-based RPG-ish kind of game. You basically, there's no story, you wander along, you build your hunter up, you hunt these monsters, you kill them, take their bits of body, and you make more armour and swords and all that stuff out of them, and that's the entire game. And it is just as addictive as hell, especially teamwork. If you can get other people to play with you, badger them and pester them, it is just
It was
awesome.
too late at the end, the servers were taken down.
Yeah, that was try.
Yeah.
You know, you've got a Wii U, that's like, you know, you can get this cheap.
Yeah.
I paid,
my one's allergic to Monster Hunter. So
I paid.
turns off when I put it in.
I paid 24 for this.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Very
That's
cheap.
dirt
It was
cheap.
very cheap. Normally you're looking at about 30. Yeah, you're normally looking at 30 to 35. So, but yeah, that game is so big, it's huge. It'll take forever to actually play through. Or you can just hit it lightweight.
There's been an add-on recently as well.
I think there's been loads.
Massive
They
add-on.
keep adding little bits and pieces. And they're not charging you for them either. They keep adding missions and extra things and not charging you for them.
They've not got Microsoft or Sony's mentality.
No.
Excuse me, look at the word! Capcom! You know, I know! It's amazing! You know. They're actually not charging you for stuff that's not on the disc.
Capcom, are you feeling well? Go see the doctor.
Look up on the roof. Someone's raised the flag upside down. That's a distress signal. Maybe they're still alive inside there.